You would have them disobey order. You would have them be guilty of mutiny, guilty of treason.
Decided we were going to do this play as part of the 100th anniversary of Remembrance Day. And then, of course, we discovered the courthouse was here, and we could do it where the trial actually happened.
I rode into Mons as the general officer commanding the Canadian Corps.
But you captured Mons?
Yes.
Conquered the German resistance?
Overcame it.
He was a very fine general. He cared about his soldiers. He was experienced. There was a different perspective from the soldiers at the sharp end. They barely saw Currie. Of course, he was planning the battles to the rear. And some of them began to accuse him of being a butcher, being wanton with their lives in battle after battle. A rumor campaign began to occur among the ranks and back in Canada, among people who wondered at the terrible cost. And so Currie came back to Canada in 1919, and he wasn't greeted as a hero like in other countries where their generals returned. There were some Canadians who worried about Currie if he in fact was guilty of this. He wasn't, I argue in my book, The Madman, the Butcher, but the rumors lived on, and eventually he would have to fight a high-profile trial, a libel trial in Cobourg, Ontario in 1928, in effect refighting the war over again.
You say not a single Canadian was killed on November 11th. Having heard what these witnesses have sworn, with the exception of Price, you still take that attitude?
I most positively take that attitude, with the exception of poor Price.
Whole towns after the First War, you would not see a young man in it. You know, and having Preston writing that article brought forward the fact that, you know, our leadership in the military has to shoulder some of the blame for these casualties. 250,000 injuries. And I think this trial not only put Canada on the world stage, but I think it left its mark on Canadians that is still with us today.
He won, but it broke his health, and he suffered a stroke, and he died 5 years later in 1933. At that point, he had been rehabilitated. His funeral was one of the largest in Canadian history. He was acknowledged as a great general, but I think still there lingered the worry about the costs of victory.
Was there any purpose in what was done on the 10th and 11th except to carry out orders?
No.
That is all.